What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1.
And today we're back at it again to answer more questions from you guys in another installment of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get to those questions
First.
And also, welcome to the new Greater WAAAGH channel. We used to post these on the One Mind Syndicate page. Don't forget to subscribe to this one if you want to get more of these cool lore conversations with me and the Sound Alchemist.
That's right.
But this question is...
Why is it that there's an uneven power scale when it comes to Marines? It seems like no matter who Chaos Space Marines are fighting, they always lose. But shouldn't they be veterans from the heresy that has thousands of years of experience, plus better weapons and demons to boot?
Yeah, you're 100% correct. Within the lore, any lore enthusiast is going to know that Chaos Space Marines are better than regular, even Primaris Space Marines.
Yeah, they should have no restrictions on them by either the Codex or the Imperium. For example, like Volkite and Radium weapons from the Heresy. Like, these are things that Chaos should have at their disposal. Mm-hmm. And not just that, but they are empowered by the gods of Chaos. It's like, they should be leagues above a regular Marine.
Yeah, not to mention that they're just, the skill level is also there because these guys are over 10,000 years old,
right? Some
of them. So they've been living since the Horus Heresy. But the one thing that a lot of people don't think about is the fact that the Chaos Gods actually really screw with their followers. Mm-hmm. If you check out our horrible realities back on the One Mind Syndicate page, that's basically all it is. Slanesh is basically trying to get you to become an addict. Nurgle is trying to get you to get you sick, but not even sick. Like, what's the when people get lobotomized?
Oh, just
or
to
sedated?
Like to the point where you're so enamored, I guess would be a word, or so enthralled by your condition that like you're not even you anymore.
Yeah, and then you have Tzeentch, which is basically just like. What's the thing that men do to women all the time?
Raise them up?
No.
Put them on a pedestal?
Gaslighting. Tzeentch is basically gaslighting you. And then the last one is...
Khorne.
Oh, Khorne. Khorne just like is the instigator.
Yeah, fight him. Why? Called your mama fat.
Yeah. That's what the Emperor says.
Yeah.
No, yeah, and then these Chaos Gods really screw over the Chaos Space Marines, and the Chaos Space Marines go into battle with that, with believing that they're stronger, but in reality they're getting screwed over by their patrons.
And not just that, but another thing too is you got to remember, Chaos is mostly warbands. Mm-hmm. They're not really structured. There's no real type of like discipline to them.
Yeah.
Where that's what the Space Marines have. They have structure. They have a discipline. They have a set of rules and regulations that makes them be efficient.
Yep. So it's basically like the U.S. military going up against rebels.
Right.
Yeah. So it's completely different. The rebels.
I mean, they got Luke Skywalker on their side. Yeah. Oh, wrong rebels. Sorry.
Yeah, wrong. But yeah, that's a really good question. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, it's the plot armor too. Space Marines are the good guys, so the good guys are going to win. And I know everybody's going to comment, there are no good guys in Warhammer 40K. You're not wrong.
Yeah, if you want to look at it this way, a lot of the Chaos that die in droves are grunts.
Yeah.
Have one named character without their helmet, and they're going to obliterate anything in their way.
Yeah. Oh, also, I learned this in the Eisenhorn book. Most Chaos Space Marines operate in like alone. Mm-hmm. So like one Chaos Space Marine instead of even a squad.
Yeah.
They're still super powerful and super crazy, but still. Yeah, good question. Let's move on to the next one. Do you have one?
Why is it that a lot of weapons still work 10,000 years after their inception?
Because, they're built Tonka tough.
Yeah. Let's not forget that this is a sci-fi fantasy. So, like, yes, things do degrade and whatnot, but a lot of times we have, like, engineers, weaponsmiths, the Adeptus Mechanicus that create these marvels. What one would see is just a regular, like, bolt gun. This is, like, a holy instrument of death. So it's treated with so much care, so much ritual behind it, and that's why they last so long.
Yeah, and then also remember that the Imperium is a giant war machine pumping out different, like, weapons and all that kind of stuff. So it's not really weapons that last forever. It's just weapons that never get changed. It's almost as if humanity got stuck during like the rifle where like, you had to pack the gunpowder down like that, and then just the technology stagnated, because that's what the Imperium is. It's stagnation. There's no improvement. The last improvement that I can think of was like the Land Raider, but that was
that was an STC that they found.
yeah. So it's old technology, no new innovation, no Elon Musk.
Yeah, because at this point they don't want to improve upon what the Emperor gave them, because that would be heresy.
Yeah, true. Next question the next one is, should the Eldar be removed from Warhammer 40K? Kind of controversial, but it is something that you guys ask a lot. And the reason for that is just because I don't think there aren't that many Eldar players.
It's interesting because there's not a lot of Eldar players, but Eldar is one of the best armies right now.
Yeah.
So I think they have a high win rate, but because their lore is so like
Copycat of like elves.
Yeah, it's very like taking fantasy and just putting a sprinkle of like science fiction in it.
Yeah.
It's not that enticing, and whenever we do get new models or new lore, like most players just kind of gloss over it.
Yeah.
So I think GW knows that this army isn't doing as well sales-wise, so they got to kind of buff it up with like rules to kind of even it out.
Yeah, I think if Games Workshop were to focus more on the Dark Eldar instead of the Craft World?
Craft World,
it would be way better. Because Craft World themselves are not, like, they have the paths, but I feel like they're very vanilla, very bland. And even their story of, like, they're a dying race. So what?
Everybody's a dying race.
Yeah, but if you talk about raiders and, sadistic...
The homunculi and all that stuff.
Then all of a sudden it becomes a very unique faction, different than the elves of Lord of the Rings or fantasy.
Right.
The next one is, would the Tau Empire ever get killed off? No, a major faction like that probably won't die.
Yeah, there are too many factions right now that, like, even in the lore, if something happens where they're like almost wiped out, they don't want to remove an already established force from the game, because it's like, well, what are people going to do if they already bought a Tau army, etc.?
Yeah.
And it seems like the way they're going, they're focusing on Kroot right now.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of Kroot, new units, new models, and sculpts like that. So if anything, the Tau is going to get further bolstered through their auxiliaries.
Yeah. And even within the lore, I think the Tau are pretty solid as far as being destroyed by any other faction. They can't. They're not in the Eastern Fringe only anymore, because they have the
Star-Type Nexus.
Yeah, which lets them like jump around now. So we might see not spheres of expansion, but like some form of expansion in another part of the galaxy.
Yeah, and we got to remember they're the youngest race that are quickly rising to a new height of power. So they want to explore more of what they can do instead of just removing this new race.
Yeah, and they're cool because they're the good guys,
quote unquote.
Next question.
This one is, why is it that demon weapons aren't really that much better than regular weapons?
The similar reason that we talked about why Chaos Space Marines aren't as great as the lore suggests, I guess. These weapons have come with their flaws.
Yeah, like for example, this axe that like can cleave any living creature in two is really powerful, but it also like drains your blood or something like that. There's always a downside to the positive of it.
Yeah, because I was thinking of the same thing. Like when you have a demon weapon, there's a demon inside this sword or this gun, and that demon is treating the wielder like shit.
Yeah,
whispering in its ear like you're gonna miss. You have a small penis, things like that. Yeah,
and it's like, no, I don't. I can prove it to you by killing this guy. And it's like, ha. That's what I always wanted. So it's like, just like demons in any form of media, they grant you power, but there's always a big downside to it.
Yeah, they're assholes.
Like the monkey's paw.
And then this would be the last question. We get this a lot. Can Space Marines have beards? Depends on the chapter. Different chapters have different, what are they called? Rituals?
Yeah, different types of like, you have to look like this in appearance, or it doesn't matter what you look like. It's about like action versus, appearance.
Yeah, but the Space Wolves are the most famous ones. They have the coolest beards. They're the Vikings of space and 40K. So yeah.
Yeah. If you want beards on your dudes, do it.
Yeah. Those were the questions for today. If you guys want to ask us more questions, please let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to this new channel, share this video with your friends, and thank you guys so much for listening and hanging out.
Yeah, that's all we got for today, guys. More videos over on the Greater WAAAGH channel, which is this one, and over at One Mind Syndicate. This has been The Sound Alchemist.
Gershwan.
And we are out.
Oh, I did the